All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into the absolutely incredible boom in AI stocks and the hidden dangers that could bring the whole thing crashing down. And let me tell you, this isn't just a tech story anymore. It's a high-stakes game where trillions of dollars are now tied to global economics and geopolitics. This one sentence really just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the tension in the AI industry right now. It's a story of mind-boggling success, shadowed by equally massive systemic risk. So how is that even possible? To really understand this paradox, we first need to get a handle on the sheer scale of this boom. Only then can we really appreciate the power of its potential collapse. Okay, let's dive in. Look, we're not just talking about steady growth here. We are talking about a historic explosion in value that has created a whole new generation of corporate giants in what feels like the blink of an eye. This whole story really begins with one company, right at the heart of everything, NVIDIA. They are the undisputed engine of this AI revolution. And to understand the boom, you have to understand the staggering numbers behind their rise. So let's take a look at the titans driving this new age, and we have to start with the undisputed king. Just look at that number, $4.8 trillion. That's NVIDIA's market cap. I mean, that's a number so huge, it's completely changed what we even think a tech giant is. And what's really wild is the terrifying slope of this curve. I mean, revenue has gone from $44 billion to over $68 billion in just 4 quarters. It's not just growing, it's accelerating every single quarter. And when you grow that fast, you create these absolutely massive expectations. But here's the thing. NVIDIA's chips, they don't work alone. Think of it this way. If a GPU is the brain of AI, then HBM, or high bandwidth memory, is its lifeblood. And without that blood flow, the most powerful brain in the world is, well, pretty much useless. And this chart, it just perfectly shows you the critical bottleneck in this whole system. Just 3 companies, SK Hynix, Samsung, and Micron, have a near total monopoly on this vital component. They literally control the lifeblood for the entire AI industry. So what happens when you have that kind of dominance? It kicks off what analysts are calling a super cycle. We're seeing profit margins for SK Hynix nearing 50%. Samsung's profits, they shot up 755%. And get this is the crazy part. Both of them have already sold out their entire HBM capacity all the way through the end of 2026. And that is the perfect setup for the other side of this story. Because for all this incredible success, there are these huge risks that the industry itself just can't control. Yeah, that incredible success story we just laid out, it's being threatened by some really powerful forces from the outside. You can almost picture it like a sword hanging over the entire industry by a single fraying thread. Okay, so here's the fundamental conflict, right? You've got this incredible boom, and it's all being driven by innovation from inside the industry. But its entire fate could be decided by external shocks, economic, geopolitical, that have absolutely nothing to do with the tech itself. Let's start with the US Federal Reserve. Right now, they're basically trapped. You've got this stubborn inflation fueled by rising oil prices, and it's preventing them from cutting interest rates. That keeps the cost of borrowing money high for everyone, and that includes all those tech companies funding this AI revolution. And here's why that matters so much. Look at this quote from MIT. Despite spending 30 to 40 billion on generative AI, 95% of companies report zero return on investment. So you can see the problem, right? Companies are pouring billions into this tech. But if interest rates stay high, CFOs are going to start asking some really tough questions, like, is this massive expense really worth it when the payoff is still so far away? Okay, here's a question that might seem kind of random. What does the Strait of Hormuz, a shipping lane in the Middle East, have to do with a graphics card in a data center in California? Well, the answer is pretty much everything. Let me connect the dots for you. The strait closes, and bam, oil prices skyrocket. That directly makes chip manufacturing more expensive because it's super energy intensive. Then it makes it more expensive to even run the AI data centers, which are just massive power hogs. And on top of all that, it threatens the entire global supply chain these companies rely on. It's a domino effect. So you've got these 2 massive forces pushing against each other, a tech boom versus global instability. Given that, the future for AI stocks is, well, anything but certain. Analysts are looking at this and seeing about 4 potential ways this could all play out.
This table here kind of lays it all out for us. You can see the possibilities range from a best-case soft landing all the way down to a black swan event. But the most likely scenario, with a 35% probability, is a stagflation dilemma. That's where high oil prices and stubborn inflation lead to a significant 20 to 30% correction in AI stocks.
And for anyone out there thinking these giants are invincible, just remember, we have seen this movie before. In the year 2000, Cisco was the NVIDIA of its day, the unbeatable company powering the internet. Its products were essential. But when its customers suddenly cut their spending, the stock collapsed 89%.
So what's the ultimate takeaway from all of this? How are we supposed to process this complex situation where you have incredible opportunity basically changed to incredible risk?
Here's a simple framework from the analysis. Buying NVIDIA today is a bet on perfection, on growth that continues to exceed sky-high expectations. Investing in the memory makers is a bet that this super cycle has room to run. And investing in the broader supply chain is fundamentally a bet on geopolitical stability. Each one carries a very different kind of risk. And that's really the bottom line. The fate of these incredible technology companies is now completely tied to interest rate decisions made in Washington, D.C., and to conflicts flaring up in the Middle East. And that leaves us with a final provocative thought. In this new era, where technology is at the mercy of global events, is the biggest risk to the AI revolution not technological, but human?